It's the penultimate topic, John. It's topic 5, not 4. Robert Pattinson. No, I wasn't going to put this in, to be honest with you, because it's much ado about nothing, really. He signed a deal with Warner Brothers, and it's not really what I thought it was. When I read through the article, I thought, fair enough. I'll put it in anyway. I'll speak about it, because I love speaking about Robert Pattinson as well. Great guy. Done a different route with his career. This guy could have been shoehorned into rom-coms, into moody vampire movies for the rest of his life. But he chose to do something different, just like Leonardo DiCaprio did in the late 90s. He went off and took risks. Well, it wasn't really risky because he'd made his money with Twilight, let's be honest, but he'd done something different with his career. He worked with independent filmmakers. He'd done stories that compelled him. He chose to portray zany, different characters, and it paid off. It bore fruit for him, because his career now is on the rise. It's exponentially on a curve, like the COVID shit you seen a year ago. It's going up like that. This guy's hot stuff, not just as an actor, but as an actual producer, because he's just signed a multi-picture first look deal with Warner Bros. Or a first look deal, not picture. And let's not forget HBO as well, and let's not forget Discovery as well, because Discovery are actually taking over Warner Media. And of course the guy who is trumpeting to the world about that takeover merger deal says it's going to be the biggest media company on the planet Earth. So this guy's signed a potential first look deal with Warner Brothers and the biggest media company on the world. So on the world's correct, because we're actually on it, we're not in it. So it's interesting. It's a ballsy move from Robert. He's a very well loved actor, and he's still very young. He's in his mid-30s, I think. So he's still got a future in acting. But look, this isn't the first time this has happened. We've seen Leonardo DiCaprio producing movies. We have got James Wan moving into production from directing. He's technically not an actor. We've got Ryan Reynolds producing movies. We've got so many big actors moving into production. Margot Robbie, Michael B. Jordan. And of course, we watched Minari and reviewed it last week, and I was struck by one name, the first name on the credits. It was actually Brad Pitt. It was an executive producer, or a producer. So Brad Pitt is producing movies as well. I think it's the natural evolution for an aging actor, and I don't want to call Robert an aging actor, because he is about 36 or something. He's not much older than me, and I don't view myself as old. But it's the natural evolution. The roles can dry up for these kind of actors when their baby looks go. And how do you protect your career in Hollywood? You move into producing. You produce movies, and it gives you longevity within that industry. It gives you something different to do. And look, I presume for a guy like Robert Pattinson, who is a lover of cinema, of the art form, of the process of making movies, I can only presume that this guy is fascinated about doing something different within the industry, not just acting in front of the camera, but having an actual influence behind the scenes, in the script, and characters, and growing and developing these movies. So I've watched many of the guy's interviews, and he strikes me as a guy who's firmly having his finger on the pulse when it comes to the industry, and just creating these movies is a grander thing, not just fucking turning up at 5 in the morning and acting for 12 hours. He's switched on. But this was a statement from Pattinson. Warner Bros. Pictures and HBO have always been synonymous with groundbreaking filmmaking. They have, to be fair to them. And I'm thrilled to be working with them to discover the most exciting new voices in film. And that's another aspect, actually finding new voices, picking out budding talent and giving them a platform, a foundation to build a career out of. Helping other people up from the dirt once you have made it. Tyler Paffy, guy we like to speak about a lot, does that a lot. He's not just about himself, selfish. He's made it, fuck everyone else, I'm alright Jack. He helps other people out. So well done Robert for trying to do that. I've loved working with the studio over the years, and have so much respect for their dedication, their willingness to take chances, and their desire to push the envelope creatively, if I can speak. I think there was actually a quote from the other side of things. I think it was Richard Brenner, New Line's president. I don't know what that's got to do with anything. New Line, maybe they're part of the Warner Media greater umbrella, Lord knows. But yeah, that's to say, we have been incredibly impressed with Rob's eye for identifying dynamic new filmmakers. Additionally, he is continually nurturing exciting story ideas into compelling screenplays. We are so excited that Warner Brothers and New Line will be his home. That's another guy, Jake Gyllenhaal. I just thought about Devil All Around, or All the Time. The movie that Pattinson was actually in, played a dodgy preacher. Jake Gyllenhaal actually produced it, because I think there was a thing about Tom Holland saying, I'm in this movie, and Gyllenhaal says, I'm fucking producing that movie. I'll see you on the set. Maybe not. But yeah, In Line Will Be Home, he'll benefit his creative commercial passions, blah 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 blah. Look, that line there where he says that he has an eye for identifying new filmmakers, I find that very interesting, because one of the interviews I do recall watching with him in it, he was very specific in saying that after Twilight he seeked, I don't know, seeked is the probably what I'm looking for, seeked out the most zany, interesting up and coming filmmakers to work with him. He actually went out and made connections with them and asked to be part of their projects. He wasn't just sitting back waiting on stuff coming in. He went to the likes of, I think, the Safdie brothers and other interesting filmmakers and tried to encourage them to use him in the movie. So this guy's been doing this for 10 years, man. He's been going out and finding up and coming brilliant filmmakers. So it makes complete sense to me that in signing this producing deal, he's continuing that, but in this case finding up and coming unknown filmmakers and bringing them in to the actual studio and giving them a chance, because there's going to be some amazing filmmakers out there, man. There'll be the next Spielberg waiting to be fun out there, the next Nolan, look at Waititi and stuff like that coming out of nothing. They're out there. He will find them, and other people will find them, I'm absolutely certain. The other thing is the compelling screenplays, and that kind of plays into what I said before as well. This guy actively was seeking out compelling screenplays, compelling directors, people to work with. And that all plays back into that different career path he chose after Twilight. He did things differently to the easy life, what most actors, I presume, would do. They make it, they just keep churning along the same old shite, chugging out the same crap, doing the same old thing. This guy took risks. He took a different career path, and now it's paying dividends for him, because he's actually getting into producing and continuing that career path and doing the same things within producing. So this guy's going to be a very fucking rich man, that's what I'm saying, if he isn't already.